Hey everyone, and welcome again to Thanks for Asking. My name is Mark Lefebvre, and I'm delighted to be here this afternoon to share my own experiences in my journey of recovery. As many of you know by now, I'm a person in long-term recovery from alcohol and drugs, and what that means for me is that for nearly 10 years, I haven't found it necessary to pick up. But I hope, again, that you're all doing well in your own journey. For those who are joining for the first time, first of all, welcome, and I hope you'll take the time to check out some of the other companion episodes on this platform. So I am grateful that you've taken the time to join us this afternoon. In today's episode, we're going to deal with the topic of readiness. And what do I mean by readiness? What I mean is that you've got your defenses in order, you've got your recovery plan in place, and that you'll be ready for that inevitable situation that may put your recovery at risk. And we'll talk about some examples of those in just a minute. But for me, these examples include things like family gatherings where others are drinking or using, in restaurants where alcohol is being served. And for me, the clinking of glasses and some of the smells of some of the drinks can be triggering to me. Others at your table who may be drinking, especially for those so-called friends who may not necessarily be in tune with your recovery and are nudging you to join the party, so to speak. You may be alone at times with alcohol in the house, or drugs might be present. Or you may be facing a surgical procedure when you're faced with the opportunity or the prospect of pain medication. And, you need to really be honest with the doctors in terms of, what you can and cannot have put into your body. But my experience is that it's important to have a solid defense in advance of these situations against that first drink or that first joint or that pill or whatever constitutes your substance of choice. So what do I mean by a strong defense? First and foremost, rigorous honesty. Honesty to yourself, honesty to others, the ability and the willingness to be accountable. So accountability to yourself and to those who care about you. It also involves at times having an escape plan, for that house party. Bring your own car. Obviously, bring your own drinks. Don't let somebody else pour your drinks. And for me personally, being around people drinking has not really been an issue for me. However, I do have difficulty being around people who are drunk, loud and drunk in particular, and kind of out of control. And the reason why it's difficult for me, quite honestly, is that it's painful and embarrassing to be reminded of how I've behaved in the past. So in these situations, I always have an exit plan. I would politely excuse myself. I'd either leave the room or I'd leave the party at times. And fortunately, my wife and others around me are very cognizant of my challenges, and they obviously tolerate and support my decisions to remove myself from difficult situations. It's the same with concert venues. I can't tell you how many times recently, especially since weed has been legal, the last 3 shows I've attended, both indoors and outdoors, I've had to leave the show because I found the heavy cloud and the odor of weed to be quite triggering for me. Sometimes when I'm triggered, I begin to romanticize what I characterize, or I used to characterize, as the good times. And in some cases, I can even taste the drink or imagine the effect. And in those situations, I try to pause, and then I think about the consequences. So in addition to romanticizing, my view of what good times might be in the old days, I play the tape forward and I romanticize, or I think about the consequences. How will this situation end, given, my challenges with alcohol and drugs? So for me, the basic issue is that just because I'm a recovering alcoholic and a recovering drug addict, I don't need to stop living my life. And as a result of that, I've learned to enjoy good times without the need for external substances. In recovery, my senses these days are on steroids. The colors are brighter, the food tastes better, the music sounds better, and I'm present to enjoy these experiences while being in the moment and being present. So my recommendation based on my experience is to build yourself a defense plan against that first drink or that first drug, and be ready for what I call when the bell rings. When that bell rings and you're faced with that situation, you do not want to be caught off guard. So being proactive, being prepared, and being honest is really the recipe for success. So Thank you for joining me for this episode, and I look forward to connecting again in the next episode. And of course, thanks for asking. My name is Mark, and have a great day.